Number of folks here in government, elected officials, as well as from government agencies and community leaders. And there's a lot of folks here who we don't always agree on every issue all the time. And sometimes that gets all the focus, that gets all the attention, that gets the headlines, that's where we divert our energies. But I think one thing that has changed, at least from my perspective, is that we have started to focus more on the things where we do agree. And that is certainly projects like this. When you talk about connectivity, access to the waterfront, access to our natural resources, I don't think there's anybody, regardless of ideology, party, what level of government they may be in, that takes an opposing view to that. And it's certainly, I think, something that growing up here in Niagara County, Western New York, I remember when I was 16 years old and a teacher in school said something about Western New York being a waterfront community. And I remember thinking to myself, it is? Because at that point, at 15 years old, 14 years old, the idea that you would go down to the waterfront and just have access to it seemed foreign to me. Today, it's more of a notion, and accepted that should be the way it is, and that is our greatest economic asset. When you talk to folks who are in private business, tourism, the one thing that I have always heard is the transportation issue, the connectivity issue. How do we get people from point A to point B who aren't from Western New York, who maybe don't have access to a car, they're staying in a hotel? How do we get them to see all of our region's assets and cultural, all the things we have to offer culturally? This shuttle is going to do just that. It's going to do just that. It's going to really change the tourist experience here in Niagara County, and that is a positive thing. I want to give credit to Sarah. She thanked everyone else under the sun when she was up here. She didn't give herself nearly enough credit. The congressman alluded to it. She worked with a lot of different people. Remember all those people I talked about who don't always get along? She worked with all those people to make this a reality. I think sometimes when we see stuff like this and we think, well, this should have happened a long time ago, we forget how hard it is, and we forget why it didn't happen. And it takes someone like Sarah, someone from maybe a different generation with energy and vision and toughness, because there's a lot of toughness behind that smile. And she brought all these people together. She never quit. She stayed committed. And I think I heard someone earlier said that this took about 10 years. This was in discussion. Now in government, 10 years is like an hour. So that's really fast. But the reality is it was the commitment of elected leaders, community leaders, and Sarah, and some other people you're going to hear from. That commitment to see this project a reality is going to redefine Niagara County. It's going to enhance the tourist experience, and it's going to make Niagara Falls, Niagara County a better tourist destination, which is obviously what we want to become. So I want to thank everyone who helped make this a reality. Some of them you're going to hear from, some of them you won't. I want to thank my colleagues in government, and of course I want to thank Sarah and all those who were affiliated with making this project a reality, and of course thank you for being here today. So thank you very much.